Hello, I'm Colton Alvarez.
And I'm Mohammad Nauman. Welcome to InBox.
We have a great show for you today with stories about determined women who are carving their own paths to the top.
And a company of bakers who, by working cooperatively, are changing their lives and opportunities.
Stories about San Francisco in the limelight. And passionate people looking to make a difference for themselves and for others.
We begin our show with a successful craftswoman who's using her business to create a better life for women in need. Let's now go to Lim Zing, who introduces us to the owner of Future Glory.
I was inspired to start Future Glory because I felt like I had more to offer, I guess, to the world.
And from this leather studio in San Francisco, Teresa Lee is doing just that. Teresa started making bags alone in her apartment. Now, just a few years later, she has her own studio with 10 employees, most women.
I think I want to work with women because I've seen the struggle that we've gone through. Just seeing how women have had to carry the burden, a heavier burden than men. And I think that's really what kind of motivates me to give a hand if we can.
She calls herself a rebel because she was born that way.
I'm just angry. I just have this chip on my shoulder in terms of what I've been through, what I've seen, and what is still going on.
Believing that the current business world is stacked against women, she left her corporate job and created Future Glory.
For me personally, I was never given the opportunity, which is why I had to create the opportunity on my own.
And she gave opportunities to other women, like Lisa Dam, who once lived on the streets.
Before my experience with Teresa, I was broken and had very little confidence in myself because my life had fallen apart.
Before she joined Future Glory, she was a prostitute, drug abuser, and homeless for 10 years.
I started out with a bad beginning and was on my own without family for most of my life and on drugs and alcohol since childhood.
Then she met Teresa,
Do you remember back in the day?
who she calls a tool of God.
The fact that she was giving me an opportunity, a disabled woman, an opportunity to work, I felt so much gratitude that it was such a gift.
Today, Lisa lives successfully on her own, painting every day, enjoying her newly discovered freedom.
Afterwards then felt so liberating and free, and I felt so strong and confident. I could work again.
Fast forward a couple years to now, it's kind of cool to see that she has a little bit more energy. I can see that she's a little bit healthier.
The opportunity Teresa gave her made Lisa want to encourage other women.
If I can do it, you can do it. If I can overcome, they can overcome.
Hoping to make an even bigger change, Teresa also participates in global charities that help other women.
And I think the coolest thing we've done is being able to build a home for a single mother of 4 in South America.
She wanted to achieve something more than just financial gain, so she put her thoughts into action.
As a business, our goal is just to make the best bags that we can and keep doing what we want to be doing without anyone telling us otherwise. And then if we can help people on the way, that's great too.
Using her business as a means to support social causes, everything she touches, she changes.
Outstanding. Teresa is a true artist with a vision to affect change beyond the 4 walls of her factory.
That's for sure. Coming up, we'll take a trip across town to a bakery whose passionate business strategy defines common practice.
Make it with love.
Their bread is in the oven, ready when we return. During the break, it appears as though you went shopping. Colton, is that a loaf of bread?
Yes, this is Nomad, but it's not just an ordinary loaf of bread made in some crucial oven. This isn't factory bread either. This is handcrafted loaf made by a team of bacon artists who have created a successful business that redefines how you may think of dough. Their story begins each day before the sun crosses over the horizon. Here is Susie Liu with the bakers of Arizmendi.
At 4 a.m., the lights at Arizmendi Bakery are already on. For those who work here, like Carolina Garcia, this is more than just a job.
Oh, I think I really like it. That's why I came here.
After working here for 7 years, Jenny Lopez knows that there is only one way to bake bread.
Make it with love.
And they do, every morning. It is hard work. This crew bakes hundreds of loaves of bread, muffins, scones, and pizzas.
I'm just building some, we call breakfast focaccia.
What makes Arizmendi unique? These men and women work together, not just sharing the baking, but also the profits. This is a cooperative. Dulce Gutierrez came here 4 years ago.
Cooperative system is the best way you can do your own owner, like working together with other group. So I hear about Arizmendi and I say, you know, this is the time, let's do that, why not?
Arizmendi was named for a Basque priest, Jose Maria Arizmendi Theater, who believed in greater rights for all workers. He thought that employees should be shareholders. In a cooperative system, everyone encourages each other to grow their skills and their knowledge, myself included.
Want to move your hands, your fingers too much? Just try to do this.
Oh,
It's like a baby. You want to just gently
Turn around it.
Yeah.
How beautiful bread like this one is offering Dulce chance and priceless education on baking and on life.
I don't have the money to pay for school. It's like more than $30,000, and you have here, working here, you have the opportunity.
an opportunity to learn on the job, a chance given to Dulce by her supervisor, Erica Harris. Erica began working here in 2010. She's proud of this cooperative movement.
Because it's part of a bigger cooperative movement where we hope to be able to create more equitable jobs for people and hopefully spread that out into housing and just to create a better lifestyle for everybody.
And it has been a success. This cooperative movement was started 40 years ago with Berkeley's cheese board. Now, Arizmendi has bakeries all over the Bay Area. The entire team also meets every Tuesday to discuss their business plans. Working together is a crucial part of the cooperative system.
It's another important part about like being in a co-op, you know? It's not just like doing production work.
Oh, it's a different person doing it at different stages. So, you know, everybody has to do a great job to the bread comes out great.
Day after day, these bakers help each other out. And by 7 a.m., bread is always ready to be served. Customers appreciate that. This bread is a product of loving hands, but also a cooperative labor organization.
Well, I like that it's all
workers owned, and the bread is very nice, it's fresh, like this is still a little bit warm.
And delicious.
What an excellent example of how working together achieves a common goal and such delicious bread.
You're right. Stay with us as we dive into a life of someone who turned a social media account into more than a hobby.
Like I journaled since I was in elementary school, and that was like
Our story of perseverance. After the break.
Terri Lomax Burden gained a global following on her blog by being transparent about the adversity she faced growing up, from dysfunction in the family to homelessness. She has seen it all.
Terri shares how she decided to turn her pain into her passion and share it with the world. Donise Johnson tells us more on how her personal struggles led Terri to create the Mocha Girls Pit Stop blog.
I help striving women of color make peace with their pasts and pursue their goals, all while becoming their best selves.
Terri Lomax had the sequence of life figured out, or so she thought.
I went to school, I got good grades, I got a good job, but I was still unfulfilled.
And with that unfulfillment, Terri began to search for a niche in the form of giving back to people. And so, the Mocha Girls Pit Stop blog was born.
I figured that a blog would be a baby step. And so I literally just went on to Google and I'm like, okay, what is a blog? How do you start? And I kind of figured it out along the way.
Terri wanted to create a space where women of color could talk about issues that weren't commonly discussed, such as depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem.
As I got older, I realized that my mom struggled with bipolar disorder, and that really explains some of the inconsistencies in my childhood.
Terri uses her experiences as teaching moments, like to this group of high school students.
A lot of that negativity that I heard growing up, like you're ugly, you're all kinds of words that I heard, you're not good enough, you know, your hair's not good enough.
I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I really didn't believe in myself, and I think that really stemmed from the childhood that I had growing up in an abusive household where I was physically and verbally abused. Like I journaled since I was in elementary school, and that was like therapeutic for me. That was my outlet. When I looked back on those journal entries, I realized like, oh wow, I was really going through like some dark times.
And it got darker when Terri was 18 and in college.
I didn't know how I was going to pay for school because I don't come from money. I remember thinking about everything that I was going through. My siblings didn't have two parents in their lives. My mom was also in and out of prison.
For Terri, it was just too much.
So at that moment, I decided that I was going to take my own life and I was going to commit suicide because the weight of the world was just too heavy for me at that time.
But Terri did it. At this third home at 404 Market Street in Marcus Hook, Pennsylvania, Terri saw her little brother come home early with an innocent-looking smile. He made Terri remember that she had a reason to live. For all of her siblings, they were her motivation.
Terri went on to get her bachelor's.
When I heard about the opportunity to apply as commencement speaker, I initially brushed it off.
And her master's degree.
So you actually went to school for marketing and conflict resolution?
Yes.
But you don't actually work in that field?
I don't. And you know what's funny, Donise? When I started my blog, it was simply an expensive hobby. And over the past 5 years, I've gained so many technical skills that are transferable. And
so transferable, Terri was hired at multiple companies in the Bay Area.
And I was able to secure jobs at Facebook. And I currently work at a tech company in San Francisco called Asana, which is a project management tool.
And without intention, Terri's blog helped her find full-time employment. With intentions, Terri created the Mocha Girl on a Mission initiative, a weekly highlight of a different woman across the country, including myself.
I submitted my blog not knowing that it would get chosen to be posted, and you chose it.
I have never let the upsets in life keep me down for long. I couldn't. because it wasn't in me.
For me, it was so important to do the Mocha Girl on a Mission initiative just to give other women a chance to share their stories.
Today, at just 5 years old, Mocha Girl's Pit Stop has attracted a following from women all over the globe.
It's just mind-blowing to me that this idea that I wrote down in my notebook has now become an international movement. I just can't believe it. Women reached out to me and they just said that it's inspiring, and they just said, keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll continue to create this space for us.
Terri chose to be a victor and not a victim.
Don't give up, and you are not defined by what happened to you, by where you come from, and really any dream that you possess is possible.
But if you give up, you just never know what you could have been, what you could have achieved.
With all the success of Mocha Girl's Pit Stop so far, what's next?
I'm actually working on my book now, so I'm really excited about that. And I think that'll be an extension of my personal mission and the blog's mission.
And just like that, those baby steps towards the Mocha Girl's Pit Stop blog led back to Terri's original idea of writing the book.
We deserve to see women who look like us succeeding. We deserve to see women who look like us living dynamically in the face of adversity.
And with all the adversity Terri has faced as a child, but overcoming it as an adult, what would Terri say to her younger self today?
Oh, wow. Denise, you're trying to make me cry. I would say every step of the journey, the tough steps, the rough patches, everything that you thought was not meant for your good, it can be turned around and it can be made to be a positive. And I would also say that everything that you went through is going to be worth it, and it will pay off.
Amazing. Terri is living proof of the success you can achieve when you push past the boundaries of life.
Start your engines. Coming up in a little segment that has you looking around the streets of San Francisco in a whole new way. Right after this. Welcome back. Before we end our program, let's join Auntie Joan on a tour of a few famous movies. Some of our favorites that were made right here on the streets of San Francisco. See if you can name each one.
These shows and movies are as iconic as the city where they were filmed. Traffic wouldn't allow a chase like that on Taylor Street today. San Francisco police received calls during this scene because of reckless driving in residential areas. This being one of the greatest car scenes that has happened in the streets of San Francisco. Perhaps its most memorable scene featured Kim Novak right here on the Golden Gate Bridge. Hitchcock stole the idea from a French novel, but thought San Francisco was more romantic. Right here is where she jumped off to, where a guy saved her life. Maybe I should do the same to see who my Prince Charming going to be.
Where is she?
We all recognize Clint Eastwood as Dirty Harry. The producer originally wanted Frank Sinatra, but he wasn't available, and we wouldn't want it any other way.
With intent to commit rape. I shoot the bastard, that's my policy.
At St. Peter and Paul Church, a sniper was trying to kill someone in this area. These movies have been some of the most famous that make San Francisco a star in the movie galaxy.
But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
So many famous movies which use this city as their backdrop. Iconic images for both locals and for visitors from all over the world, like me.
You're right, Nomad. That does it for our show today. I'm Colton Alvarez.
And I'm Mohammad Noman.
Thank you all for watching our show. So long, everyone.